Hello again, the DIY CNC woodworker here. Well, here we are in my newly repurposed spare bedroom. As you can see, my table here that I built, this is where my router is going to live. This is, of course, the router. Give you some idea of the size of this thing. This here is the wasteboard, which means the actual router itself is 3 to 4 inches larger all the way around than that wasteboard. So that's it. This is where we start. Again, I'll reopen this box that I resealed and pull everything out, take it out of the box, put it on the board, on the table, and start this process. Oh, my back has been killing me here the last few weeks. The last few days it's really gotten bad. The muscle spasms so bad I can't hardly walk. Didn't think I was going to get this table built, but I did. Alright. Let's see if I can systematically do this without making a mess. Put things over here where they don't get lost or mislaid, disappear, which things have a habit of doing around me. Not quite figured that out yet, but it does. And electronics. Oh me, NEMA motors. More wiring. Those are limit switches, by the way. My spindle. A core component box. And the power supply. Alright. And back over here behind it all, before I started laying anything up on the board, of course, are the maker rails that this will all go together. So this is just a short intro for my work that I'm going to be doing. I'll have to go in and get my laptop computer, bring it in here, and hook it up or turn it on and get onto the website. They do a step-by-step assembly instructions on the computer, and I'm going to utilize that along with the written instructions that have come with this. So just showing you my table, basically what this is, kind of a reintroduction of what I'm doing. I'm building a CNC router. I built this table large enough to not only hold the router itself, but also to hold the electronics components that needs to go with it. I've moved it into a spare bedroom simply because the garage is an uncontrolled, unheated, uncooled climate, high humidity here in South Texas, and I didn't want the router to have to contend with that type of an environment, mainly for the corrosion problems that would arise, especially with the electronics. My other tools that I have, my woodworking tools that I have in the garage, is quite evident from the corrosion here. Anything that's iron or steel or metal wise, it just it doesn't take any time at all, and corrosion just eats it up. Rust everywhere. So anyhow, that's what I'm going to do. This is the start. Like I said, I took yesterday and today to put this table together. It's pretty firm, pretty stable. I happen to have this one large piece of ply out in the garage, and it just happened to be the size I needed. And I went and got some 1x3s and framed it around. Of course, I did tongue and groove on it, put it together. Tongue and grooved my legs here and glued them together. They're held on 4 screws here, 4 screws here, 8 screws on each side, so that'll be more than enough support for that. And we're ready to go. I got plenty of room to build, I think, and we're ready to put this thing together And what I will do is make a series of videos of me assembling this X-CARVE, and present that on my channel. And I will give you an unbiased, honest review of what I go through to put this piece of equipment together, and let you know that if it's difficult or too difficult or not difficult or whatever it may be. But that's my plans, and that's where I'm going to go. Fortunately, I'll be working inside. I'll be sitting down, and it'll be cool. No more sweating, no more sweatbands. And so here we are, the start of the CNC adventure. So stay with me. Like I said, this will be a series of videos. I'll try and keep them shorter, trying to edit them to the point where they're not the 20 and 30-minute videos that I was doing with my woodworking. So it'll be easier to watch, shorter duration to watch, but still hopefully have enough information so if you're trying to decide if this is a course of action you want to take, by the time I'm done assembling this, you should be able to make an educated decision. So for now, this is the CNC Woodworker, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. Okay, folks, started unpacking some of these items from my router. Here's the little Inventables hardware store for designers, a little tool kit that they sent. Well, they didn't send it, I paid for it, but here you got 4 wrenches. Looks like open end on one end and box end on the other. And in this little pouch is a whole lot of stuff. Let's see what's in here. There's a couple of things. There's a star head screwdriver. And is there anything else in there? No, that's it. So I'll put that back in there so I don't get lost. And a couple of little jeweler screwdrivers here, small straight blade jeweler screwdrivers. A nice pair of safety glasses. A set of hex wrenches and ball end wrenches combined, and another little small open end box end wrench. That's the tool kit that came with it. If you order the tool kit, that's what you're going to get. Now I have unboxed and gone through. First thing I did is I went to my other computer and printed off the X-CARVE assembly instructions. As you can see down the side here, just step after step after step. And on the front page it shows the core component kit and the components that you'll need to put your X-CARVE together, which is this extrusion here, solid metal. On the previous version of their router, which wasn't called X-CARVE, it was called Shapeoko 2. This is the X-CARVE's the 3rd version, but anyhow, it was multiple pieces. You had to put spacers and screws and bolts and probably 20 or 30 pieces to build this thing. Well, here's one solid, heavy-duty extrusion. Now that's the X-CARVE extrusion. The next thing is the smooth idler wheels, which are right here. It says right on it, all of their package, everything's packaged and it's labeled here, which that really helps because I spent about 10 minutes looking for something, but I was looking for something else and it was right in front of my face the whole time. But this is X-CARVE smooth idler wheels. I've got this handy dandy little metallic tray I'm going to keep all these things in. Next thing is the dual bearing V-wheel kit. That's here, V-wheel kits. They all have identifying numbers on them. This is 2520304, and right here on here it says 25203-04 V-wheel kits. So it's easily identifiable what they have. Flathead socket flat head socket cap screw. Now I don't know why I had so much trouble finding this thing, but it's 30552-01. I found everything else before I found this, and it was right there in front of my face. The next thing is button head cap screws. 25286, right here on it, button head cap screws. The next thing is a 9-line insert lock, and on here it says M5 9-line insert lock nut 30265-04. That's these. The next thing is eccentric nuts. Here it says right here on it, eccentric nut M5 30158-01 right here. Next thing is flat washers M5 and M5 flat washers 25287-08. That's these here. And last but not least is aluminum spacers 5.1 millimeter. Aluminum spacers 5.1 millimeter, and it's identified 25312-23, and that's right here. Now this and all of this is what I need to assemble the X-CARVE. So I'm going to pause the filming, get this all set out, read over my instructions, verify what I have to do, and come back. I'll start assembling this. I'll put the first smooth idler wheel or V wheel kit, whichever one comes first, on. I'll show you me doing that. Then I'll pause the film again, because then it's just a repetition 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. So I don't need to show 8 times me doing the same thing over. So I'll pause the film for now, the video for now, and we'll come back when I'm ready to put on my first V wheel or flat wheel. Okay guys, discovered a couple of things when I started putting this X carriage together. One, sometimes I can't see the forest for the trees. I spent 5 or 10 minutes looking for a part that was right in front of my face. Again, that's my fault. But secondly, whoever did the assembly instructions for this thing on video on YouTube's internet obviously has much smaller hands than I do, but we got it together. Here's the X carriage. I got my upper 2 V wheels, well, my upper 2 V and my lower 2 V wheels, and on the inside you can't see are 2 flat wheels. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 wheels that I put on. I've also decided that instead of showing you as I do this thing, because some of this takes great concentration on my part, to make sure I don't totally foul this thing up, I need to be able to read my instructions and also fight with my laptop. I'm an Apple guy, I admit it, don't mind it, but I got a real good buy on this little Dell PC laptop. Dell and I don't get along, but I'm trying, so we'll see. Maybe the battery charging problem or something. I'm going to let it charge overnight and see if it works better tomorrow. If not, it's going to be sold real cheap. But anyhow, that's the X carriage assembly. It's basically done. The next step in the instructions is to start installing the stepper motors. I'm going to call in an evening. I'm not going to do that. That's where I'll pick up tomorrow. So for now, this is the DIY/CNC woodworker. We will talk to you soon.